Let's take a case, okay, that we're going to, let's say, a country that's a little more risky than France. Let's say, I don't know, let's say China, okay? It's kind of cliche, but let's just use China as an example. Let's say we're going into China and we put up a wind farm, or we have an off-taker that says we're going to buy your energy for 20 years, and we spend $300 million putting up a wind farm. As soon as the wind farm is up, the off-taker says, you know what, we promised you 10 cents a kilowatt hour on your energy, we're only going to pay you 1. What's going to happen now? What would you guys do?
For those of you who follow solar news, this is what happened in Spain and Italy and many of the European countries, where a lot of the projects were installed because governments there promised to pay them a certain rate for their power. And 2 years down the line, the governments realize, hey, you know what, we don't really want to pay so much. You're not going to pay. What can you do? You can't do anything. Yeah, they had a contract. They didn't honor the contract.
Okay, let's go with the
Yeah.
contract. Okay, what else would you guys do? You have a contract, you're going to take them to court, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What else? Get a good lawyer. That's very good. What else?
You can try to find someone else to buy the power.
Okay, you can try to find someone else to buy the power. So let's talk about, in the case of China, it's a Chinese company. We take them to court, and the Chinese court says, sorry, this is the way we're going to play. We're going to support a local company. There goes your contract. The market rate is now $1 a kilowatt hour. Someone pays a cent. Okay, somebody pays 2. You're still way under what you thought. So a good way of getting around this, and this is actually called a non-market issue. This happens all the time. Okay, in the previous company that I used to work for, we put up a couple plants in Venezuela, and Chavez was like, "Never mind," and we were pleasantly kicked out of the country. This is called expropriation. Okay, it can be expropriated on many levels. One is the national level, where the government just says, "You know what? Now it's ours, and we're going to take it." It can be expropriated by your partner. So what people do, and why the project structures are so complex, I'll show you guys in a second, is that you create joint ventures. You isolate yourself. So we have one company it has a wholly owned subsidiary. Okay, so every time you have a legal entity, it's as if it's its own standalone company. So, Business of Energy, BOE corporate owns BOE Wind Corporate, which owns BOE Wind France, and I'll show you that in a second. Let's say we want to build a wind farm in Europe, okay? Now, this is a U.S. entity. These two are U.S. entities. We're going to create an entity in the Cayman Islands. It's called BOE Wind Europe. And because we want to get into Europe, we're going to bring in Acciona as a brand name, as a big company that does turbine manufacturers and development in Spain. They know the European market. We're going to bring them in as a partner. So now we own 80% of this. They own 20% of this company, okay? This company is gonna partner with Suez Canal, also a big energy company, and create another structure called BOE Wind France. So now you see, just for one project, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 companies that we've created with 2 different partners. And
What roles do you, as undergrads with technical backgrounds, can have in the industry when it comes to project finance? The most obvious one is obviously with this company in the center right there, which is setting up an energy plant, right? It can be coal, it can be oil, it can be wind, it can be solar. They will need people of their own to assess, design power plants. Let's take the example of a solar power plant. Companies will be looking for people with expertise in solar to kind of understand where the best locations are, to study the regulatory market from the point of view of number of power units generated. GE and Siemens would hire engineers who understand the mechanics of a wind turbine, and in different parts of their company, from design of a wind blade to design of the generator to mechanical strength of the tower, a whole variety of places where they might need you. And then there's the electrical contractor that works out the transformers, the electrical connection, the switchgear required to connect it to the grid. So that is another place where engineers are required.